And we're live. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy AJ back at y'all with another This Week in One Piece stream, Ep.3, man. And let me tell y'all, this was a good week. At least this chapter was good this week. It's probably been the best chapter we've had, last 2 or 3 chapters. You know what I'm saying? It's been mostly build up and set up chapters as of late, ever since, the whole Luffy, everybody get off the roof. I'm gonna fight Kaido 1v1 fiasco. What 5-6 chapters ago? We see how that happened. Anyways, can't even talk. That being said, to my knowledge, didn't much happen this week as far as One Piece news is related. Of course, we had the episode last night. We had the chapter 1014, which is most of this video is going to be my review. That being said, let me just throw my quick thoughts on the anime episode last night. So the anime episode was the ending of the Odin flashback, which basically showed Ashura Doji getting away. Well, it didn't show him getting away, but it showed them all beaten up, tattered. It showed Kawamatsu taking Hiyori and dealing with her. And the biggest thing it showed, or most what it seemed like a lot of the chapter focused on, was Denjiro turning into Kiroshiro, which, was a slightly big reveal. Most of us kind of predicted that one because it wasn't too many other options. But it was funny to see that transformation. I know in the manga, everybody was clowning how he cried so much. It just made him look like that. I would say the anime did a better job of bringing those two to life. Like, it didn't feel crazy in the anime. I felt like in the manga, it felt like, okay, the man's whole face structure changed, hair color, everything. He looks like a new person. And the anime just felt, I don't know if they were doing side-by-side shots so much more, but it just felt more gradual, and it made me believe it a lot better. And it also did a good job of showing his relationship with Hiyori and everything he's built up to this point. They're about to head into Onigashima in the anime. It also revealed a little bit of insight on Orochi's traitor, the plant that was in there. Now in the manga, we know who this is. Anime, in case it's a random anime watcher watching this, before I get to these manga spoilers, of course, I'm not going to spoil it, who it is, but be prepared for that. That's coming soon. Good episode, solid episode. I expect the next handful of episodes, especially knowing from what I know from the manga, to be kind of slower paced. The anime is going to slow down a little bit, but then it's going to hype back up because, this Onigashima stuff is going crazy. Speaking of Onigashima, let me get to this chapter. Chapter 1014. Boom. I still feel the same as I did a couple days ago about this chapter now that the Viz is out. This is a solid chapter, 7.5 to 8. Somewhere in there. I was interested on the translations. The Kaido line about Luffy and Joy Boy is about the same. In the Viz, it says you couldn't be Joy Boy either, it seems, which implies, like I said, or not implies, pretty much confirms Kaido knows something. How does he know? That's the question. Like I said in the review, my two main theories are either his time in either God Valley / Rocks made him know what he knows about history, which is, why all these Yonko who are, roughly kind of the same generation as Roger, they're not that much younger than Roger, like Big Mom, especially Big Mom. She's in her late 60s. Roger and them were in their late 70s. So she's not far off from Roger and them as far as age. So, but it basically explains why are they going for the One Piece too? What makes them so interested? Because Roger obviously didn't inspire them because they are already big time pirates who rivaled Roger himself. So what is it? What is it all these people are going for? Minus Whitebeard, because we already know what he was going for. Like, what is it about this ancient treasure, secret treasure, whatever you want to call it, that makes everybody so curious? Now, of course, everybody has their own, like, I guess you could say side goals. Like, we all know Kaido wants to go out in a bang, he has a big war, blah, blah, blah. Big Mom wants to have a family / dinner, I think something where everybody's the same size and it's all different races and things of that nature. Cool, but we know that they're also going for this One Piece too. In the meantime, in this ancient history, they're all trying to become Pirate King. That being said, the other theory of how Kaido knows what he knows is maybe he got his hands on Odin's journal. Now we don't know what's in that journal, but we know it's some big spoilers up in there. We definitely do know that. Now, if Kaido got his hands on it, that would be very interesting. That would kind of mean he would have a leg up on the other Yonko, I would think. If he has that, if he knows exactly what's going on, which would technically, I would think, make him closest to the One Piece. But the thing is that really the case? Did he really read this, or is this something that Yamato just happened to stumble onto, and he/she, whatever you want to call her, has been keeping this to himself? Oh, speaking of Yamato, the anime opening kind of, revealed Yamato a little bit, which is dope. I really did rock with that. It would look pretty cool. But anyways, back to the chapter. So yeah, it makes you wonder, how does he know this, and to what extent does he know? Because he obviously knows a lot more than us. We honestly, when I think about it, we don't really know much. What do we know about Joy Boy? Actually, I want to say this is the second time Joy Boy's been name dropped, because Joy Boy was mentioned in Fishman Island, if I'm not mistaken. It was saying that some of the Poneglyphs was an apology letter from Joy Boy, and he gave a gift or something, and we assume that gift was an ancient weapon, Shirahoshi, and he gave that to Fishman Island, we think. But that's all we really know about Joy Boy. So it's like Kaido obviously knows more than us. That being said, that means he looked at Luffy. He looked at Luffy like, you could potentially be the one, but now he doesn't think that. But it's interesting just to be like, does Kaido know Luffy's the main character? It's weird. Like, what does he know? Like, what does this man know? That's the biggest question from this chapter by far. Anyways, let me just proceed into the chapter more. Momonosuke asks, what does he know? That's another question. Like, for real, hold up, y'all. I want my nose a little bit. Hold up. Excuse me, allergies. But yeah, what does he know for real? Like, he's reading this journal. What is really okay? The bigger question is, fuck what they know. What the fuck is in that journal of Odin's? What is in there? Why can't Momonosuke die? What is he hearing right now? All types of questions are going on through this chapter. It's starting to look like, okay, so two things I've seen. First off, which is what we've been saying since Zoe, or not we've been saying, but a lot of people in the community have been saying since Zoe about Momonosuke. He could be Uranus, the other ancient weapon, which I'm not gonna lie to you, it's starting to seem like the case, just because we haven't seen or heard anything about Uranus since it was name dropped pre-time skip, I want to say. Now we know Pluton is a ship. We had kind of low-key 2 arcs on Plutons. We got a lot of Pluton. We actually know what Shirahoshi is. What is she? Poseidon. We know what that is. That's Shirahoshi, obviously. We know nothing about Uranus. Now, of course, there's all the Enel theories, and there's a gang of theories regarding it. But we're 1,000 chapters in. We know nothing about this other ancient weapon. But we have this kid. So after seeing what the other ancient weapon is, Shirahoshi, we got this who, she controls the Sea Kings and shit. Now we have this kid who they're telling us can't die, and he can actually talk and command things like Zonisha, and he has like the voice of all things. I mean, he's probably the front runner of being Uranus. I'm just being real with you. Now, that being said, I also seen another little theory. It is half-ass. Somebody said it, but I seen it on Reddit, I think. It's funny. It was like, what if Momonosuke is Joy Boy? I don't think that, but that would be funny. That would be a good twist, I think, personally, just because I like when, the story's been hyping up Luffy as the chosen one, the main character, the person who's going to change destiny. But what if it turns out he's not necessarily the chosen one, even though he's the one who puts the most work in, that changes the world, but he guides the chosen one type stuff. I like stuff like that when, they throw narratives over, when people throw narratives over their head, even though maybe that won't make the most sense because Luffy's been gassed up for so long now. I think he can still make it work some way, somehow. But it's like, the main point is, what the hell is going on with Momonosuke? And he's honestly, him reading his dad's journal is making his plot line and storyline a lot more interesting, especially because I'm watching the anime episode, right? And this ties back into the anime. And this is a line I forgot Kaido said. And I don't know if this ever got followed up on. But he said, when him and Orochi found out that the scabbards went into the future, he said when you find them, do not kill them. He wants to ask them something. And he said after 20 years, he just has a question to ask them. Now, I didn't go back and reread his interactions with the scabbards, but I don't recall him asking them anything. I just remember him being in shock about the whole Odin, them being able to cut him, and it felt like Odin's Rio type stuff. So I just don't recall any of that. But yeah, anyways, moving on. So we got the Chopper stuff. Chopper slamming Queen. And Chopper is able to hold Monster Point for 30 minutes now, which is a power up we kind of got off screen, but it kind of makes sense when on which his Rumble Ball got improved by Caesar Clown. Okay, makes a lot of sense. Caesar Clown is a scientist, one of the better scientists in One Piece. As far as top tier scientists, he's probably one of the lower tier ones. Of course, you got Vegapunk, and after Vegapunk, I'll probably throw Judge. Those two definitely seem better than Caesar. And then Queen might be. No, Queen's probably not better than Caesar because Caesar makes the smile fruits and Queen doesn't. So, but yeah. Anyways, y'all know what I'm talking about. So he improves the time limit on Monster Point, which is good. A good power up for Chopper, much needed. Because I'm gonna be real with you, Chopper post time skip has been very, very mid and lacking to me. Like, I don't know if I've said this before, and I'm pretty sure I've said this. Chopper is definitely, at least post time skip, my least favorite Straw Hat. Like, even the stuff that Oda does with him just isn't that interesting and cool to me. Sometimes when Chopper's on the screen, it's just like, oh shit, Chopper shit. But this was actually cool. I can't deny this. Like, Monster Point Chopper is the coolest thing he has going for him. And Oda, this chapter at least made it look cool again with him fighting Queen. Now, he's not hurting Queen. He slammed him, but we all know Queen is durable as fuck. Ancient Zone. So it's only so much Chopper is going to do. Now, that means, and I didn't think about this during my reaction, but if Chopper's fighting Queen, that means that Marco should be fighting King 101 right now, which is also pretty dope. I don't know if we're going to go back to that fight. We might, it kind of looks like Wano's on some kind of Marine forward stuff, in which we're just kind of all over the place seeing clashes here and there. Like, for example, this chapter, we seen Jinbei and Who's clashing, and Who's back in human form. But last time we seen him, he was in complete zone form. So it's kind of one of them things of like, we're kind of all over the place. Now, we better see that Jinbei Who's fight. I'm not playing. Like, that's probably the fight outside of the rooftop stuff that's we're not even on the rooftop anymore. But besides all the Yonko stuff, I'm probably most interested to see. It's up there, at least. I can honestly say that. From there, we see Kaido. They announced, Luffy's been defeated, blah, blah, blah. We know he has it. I mean, he's been defeated, but he's not beat. We know Luffy's coming back. Now, I know a lot of people out there, or not a lot, but some people out there think that Onigashima, this Wano arc is going to end badly for everybody. I just feel like, personally, we're too late in the story to have something like that happen. Like, it worked in Marineford because that was the halfway point of the story. But now we're like, Oda's saying we're 4 or 5 years away from being done with One Piece. And honestly, with some of the hints we're getting at, I can see it now. Like, we're getting to the end of this. Luffy really can't afford to, like, lose a whole war. Like, I don't know. It all depends how Oda decides to write it, I guess. But yeah, after all that announcing Luffy's been beat, blah, blah, blah. We have Kanjuro still posing as Odin, pulling up on Kinemon, Kiku, Momonosuke, and what's her fat ninja girl? I forget her name. Shinobu. This gimmick is still going on. We got it, what was that, 7-8 chapters ago with the whole stuff, and it really didn't, Kanjuro's just being a menace, and it's fucked up. It's definitely grimy that he did that to Momonosuke. He's definitely grimy. And of course, Kiku and Kinemon, they have experience with it, so they're not falling for it again. But Kiku manages to get fucked up because she still can't bring herself to stab the Odin clone, the fake Odin. I don't really like that. That's probably like part of the chapter. I'm like, what? But I can't say it doesn't make sense. I understand what Odin represents to them. And yeah, I get it. I think I would have wrote that a little bit differently. It just kind of happened. But nonetheless, I can deal with it. It's not completely unacceptable. And it's kind of, the way it's done is kind of emotional because it has me thinking, like, is she dead? Like, she could be. I would, if I was betting my money, I would say she's probably alive. But Oda, he could write it in a way in which she's dead. I could see it happen to her having this, crazy death. But if any Scabbards are dying, it has to be Kinemon. Like, that's the one that's going to hit the most. We all know this because he's been around us the longest. Simply put, he's been around most of the post time skip. Like, he's damn near a straw hat at this point. Not really, but y'all get what I'm saying. But yeah, and then after Kanjuro cuts up Okiku, Kinemon cuts down Kanjuro, and it's seeming like that's probably the end of this whole Kanjuro stuff, this whole Kanjuro mess. I'm happy that at least Kanjuro is getting written out the story. Not to say, it's just been 30 chapters of going back and forth with him. Have been kind of like, yeah, Kanjuro, like whatever. Like that whole traitor reveal was kind of, anyways, like it could have, Oda could have did it a little bit better. Just saying. But anyways, it was definitely emotional because it hits knowing how long we've known Kinemon and how Kanjuro was the first person he was searching for. And, they were boys. So it definitely, that part hits. I feel for Kinemon. I just don't care for Kanjuro. Now, let me say something because I'm still confused. I'm still confused about this. And I said this in the when I reviewed the scans the other day. What? Now, this may not mean nothing. I could just be overlooking into this too much. But what the hell? I'm looking for the page right now. What the hell is Shinobu talking about when she says, oh, never mind. Answer my own question. She's talking about fucking Bao Wong. It is a frog. It's literally a frog. I didn't see that in my reaction. Boom. I was going to say, what the hell is she talking about there being a frog over there for? Oh, never mind. Skip that. Anyways, from there, after Kinemon cuts down Kanjuro, Kaido pulls up. Kaido bursts into the scene. Just, fuck it. Right? Kage style Naruto. No door. Just straight through the wall. And he doesn't say any words. No words needed to be said. He pulls up, conquers Haki on the mace, and it looks like he hit Kinemon. It looks like he's hitting Kinemon. Now, I don't know how Kinemon survived this. I don't know if this kid is Kinemon's death right here. This could be because it looks like Kinemon's sword is cut too. Now, I've seen people pointing out in this panel, no, Kinemon's swords are definitely cut. Both of them. But what people are pointing out in this panel is that it looks like Kaido's mace is cut. It's cracked. I don't think his mace is cracked. It could be. But all the stuff Kaido's been doing and Kinemon, a little hitting Kinemon cracks his mace would be kind of crazy. But it could be also Luffy cracked his mace, which we can live with that one. But at the same time, it might just be an artistic thing. It might not even be an actual crack. So we might just be looking too much into that one. But yeah, that's how the chapter ends. And it says Onigashima reaches Wano's mainland. So I don't know if this is the end of Act 3. Act 3 is a tragedy, and Act 4 is going to be the triumphant return / climax where, Luffy comes back and beat where, because right now Luffy's out, Zoro's out, Law's fucked up. Kid is doing all right versus Big Mom, so he's still in it. Sanji still hasn't had his fight. We still got some people up, but it's definitely like looking pretty grim. Kinemon might be fucking dead. Like this might kill Kinemon. That might be the end of Act 3 is the death of Kinemon. But shoot, man, Wano's taking a lot of turns. Onigashima taking a lot of turns, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm glad I'm having this experience on YouTube with people and I'm sharing it. You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of people watching yet, but it just is what it is. I'm glad that I'm documenting all this journey because this is One Piece, bro. Like, it's dope. But yeah, y'all, that's this week in One Piece, man. If I had to rate this chapter, I'm giving it an 8, especially after re-looking over it. Especially, and I'm kind of anticipating what's going forward. This really might be the death of Kinemon. It really might be. We got a little bit of a flashback of him this chapter too. Like I could really see this chapter, this act ending on the death of Kinemon, which would actually be a big moment. I would definitely feel for that, just because, like I said, we've known Kinemon for so long now. But yeah, y'all, let me know what y'all think down below. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy AJ. This week in One Piece is done. chapter 1014 review is done. I'm gonna just get up out of here, y'all.